So this is the complete game. What does a coach know? A coach knows the end game. So it doesn't matter whether you want to be $20 million, $50 million, $100 million. You need to know what is the end game. You need to know what is the roadmap to that end game. Doesn't mean you have to go to $100 million. Somebody might say, I'm happy for the time being to cross $10 million or $20 million. If you start right away from distributing your products in thousands of stores, it's not going to happen. Even if you do it with one mass chain or one national chain, you got to work towards it. You need to have confidence in the offtake, in the movement of the product from the shelf, which is commonly known as velocity. But you see, when you grow big, you also have a team. Then you need to learn to create a culture. You need to know how to instill the discipline of execution when you're working, how to keep hitting milestones, how to hire people, how to groom them, how to appraise them, etc. Then you need to be confident in your cash flow.
Welcome to What Beauty Founders Don't Know, a podcast formerly known as Jumpstart. Here, women-led, early-stage beauty brands learn counterintuitive insights to accelerate their profitability and revenue to $20 to $50 million and even $100 million without spending a fortune on ads, influencers, and reckless distribution. With your host, Rohit Banota, ex-P&G and founder of Toronto-based Jump Accelerator. Together, let's create a more conscious, humane, and beautiful planet. A woman's world. Don't forget to subscribe, click the bell notifications, and leave a review.
So a question that I usually ask a beauty founder is, your fans love your products, right? Then why aren't you a big 20, 50 or $100 million beauty brand? The number is not important. Why you haven't achieved your vision and the goals that you have for your beauty brand? The first answer that you will get in your mind, and what I speak about on my site, the videos that I do, podcasts that I come on, is that you do not have money to create a profitable marketing funnel, or even if it's organic, you do not have a profitable marketing funnel where you can get fresh new prospects, consumers in, and then you turn them into loyal consumers and advocates, etc. But you see, that is also a part of the equation. You can start getting a sustainable marketing funnel, but maybe the number of new consumers that you're getting inside your funnel is not that high. Obviously, if all three growth engines fire on full cylinders for you, loyalty, paid acquisition, and organic, and I add loyalty to growth, because in the early stage market, you will have access to 6x profitable super fans. You will always have access to them. As long as your brand is done right and you're doing the right activities, you're creating the right experience, you have the right story for them, you're producing the results that they really want, you will always have access to leverage 6x profitable super fans. But the big issue is that you do not know the exact roadmap to the end game to reach your vision for your beauty brand, to reach your end goals, quant goals. Revenue is not a bad proxy for ultimate objective that you have with your beauty brand. You do not know the entire roadmap to the end game, like I said. And what does that mean? That means that it's not just one thing. All of these things matter when I speak about three growth engines firing full cylinders. But you see, when you grow big, you also have a team. Then you need to learn to create a culture. You need to know how to instill the discipline of execution when you're working, how to keep hitting milestones, how to hire people, how to groom them, how to appraise them, etc. Then you need to be confident in your cash flow. You need to work towards getting a healthy cash flow. Like I say, revenue is just cool. Profit is the goal, the ultimate goal, but cash is the fuel. Along with that, when you want to scale, you will need partners. So just a direct-to-consumer brand taking you to $100 million, $50 million, it is possible. It's not that it is not possible. There are some playbooks that will say it's not possible anymore. I don't agree. There are subscription boxes that do over $50 million in annual sales. So it is totally possible. There are ways and means of doing it. But more often than not, if you're a beauty CPG brand which is not selling bundles or subscriptions, and you're not a direct-to-consumer, purely direct-to-consumer, your model is not direct-to-consumer, it is not geared towards being exclusively direct-to-consumer, you would need the help of channels, retail channels, to scale up. So you would need to understand how to approach retail, how to do omni-channel right. If you just put all your eggs in one basket, that also can spell trouble. Now, how do you do that? If you start right away from distributing your products in thousands of stores, it's not going to happen. Even if you do it with one mass chain or one national chain, you got to work towards it. You need to have confidence in the offtake, in the movement of the product from the shelf, which is commonly known as velocity, and you need to develop the category. So there's not just one piece to the puzzle. And every time you cross a certain stage in your evolutionary growth curve, for example, you cross 1 million, 5 or 10 million, then you cross 20 to 50 million dollars. Ultimately, you're aiming to reach 100 million. You get a very healthy valuation above 500 million dollars, and you can exit. That's usually been the trend of indie beauty brands, early stage beauty brands, to get bought out. So the point I'm trying to make is you need the complete roadmap. You need someone who can tell you, hey, this is what all it will take. You need to start from strategy, your brand elevating the category, your positioning, your brand idea should add to the category. It should wow the stakeholders. It should wow the early adopters. It should wow the influencers, the buyers. And then, of course, it should wow the end consumer. That's the most important, right? And it should wow both the early adopters and the mainstream consumer, early mainstream and late mainstream consumers. Then you need a story. Now, the wowing of early mainstream and late mainstream, especially when you enter the growth stage, happens if you have a brand story that can make the mainstream consumer fall in love at first sight beyond mere early adopters. And you need to apply that to every touch point. You need to create an experience that helps in generating emotional resonance, which helps increase your loyalty. You need to learn to identify, find, and leverage 6x profitable superfans who will carry you on shoulders, and they have the power to take you to $5 to $10 million easily, and they will keep working with you even when you go to high 8 figures and 9 figures to keep feeding the funnel back. But their contribution can change, and because you'll have cash, you can invest in paid engines aggressively. So you see, I've covered strategy and I covered story, then I covered how do you get your 6x profitable superfans, how do you work with them. Then you need to know how to do omni-channel retail, right? Like I just spoke about. You need to know how to work on cash flows, how to increase your cash, how to aim towards profitability, have it as an end goal. And you need to have phases, milestones where you will get profitable. No matter what people say, growth sucks cash. You need to have some timeline when you will be profitable, and ultimately that money will go back into getting you more paid consumers and generating more loyalty into every initiative. Then you need to create a culture. Like I said, your purpose, your values, your mission. You need to bring the entire organization together. You need to start in your appraisals, in your hiring. You need to start factoring culture, the values that you live by, how you behave with each other. You need to instill the discipline of execution. How do you appraise your employees? Do they have clear direction from you? What all they will be measured upon? What are those milestones? How will their annual appraisal take place? What are those top 3 metrics that you will evaluate them upon? And then how you will build their capability and the organization's capability so that you enable them in achieving those milestones and the yearly annual targets. And also, your pricing has to be factored in. Once you start penetrating the omni-channel retail, shopper marketing will become critical. So you will have to think, how can you get the right shoppers, work with the right retailers to increase the consumption so that loyalty happens, repeat purchase happens as much as possible, and that becomes a big factor in driving your growth. So it's not just one part of the puzzle, there's a complete roadmap, which is what Jump Accelerator does. So when I say Jump Accelerator offers profitable growth from 20 to $50 million plus, and you could even go to 100 million. So there is a roadmap, which is a roadmap to your end game, but it's a fully executable solution using first principles. So first is the roadmap, the entire strategy, what you need at every stage and how you need to do it. Then you need solutions. You need step by step for creating those solutions. And at Jump, we have collaborative solutions, meaning we work with the founders. We build those solutions together step by step rather than just educating you or doing workshops or telling you how to do it, which is never going to be as great as we working together and making sure the buck stops with us. So the final responsibility of how good the solution is stops with us. And we know what the end game is. We'll keep editing, giving you feedback, and working with you. So you can actually achieve your end goal. And this is what it takes. A consultant will sell you slides, individual marketing solutions, SEO, digital marketing, ads, entering a few retailers here and there, a few doors, signing up a deal with a distributor. All that is good. It will add incrementally to your sales. But you see, you don't want to run in all directions, especially after you have crossed $500,000 in sales at least. Now you know who your target consumers are, or you should find out who those fans are. Why do they buy you? And then create a strategy, then a story, then identify 6x profitable per fans, then the route to retail and do it right. Your pricing, your margins, your supply chain, how will you manufacture? You need to get all those systems and processes right. Create a culture, instill values, your purpose. You can have one pager plans to simplify the end goal and the key initiatives and key tasks that a person needs to do, and then focus on cash flow because cash will help you drive growth. And there's a lot more. But the beauty is that instead of just throwing a deck down your throat, or instead of just doing a workshop where you're loaded with all the information and all processes in 3 to 4 days, nothing wrong with it. That's not a bad model. And Jump also does that workshop with organizations that have people who have been doing such stuff for years and years, and it does work. But for an early stage beauty brand which needs help, which might not have all the right people at this time, so this is the complete game. What does a coach know? A coach knows the end game. So it doesn't matter whether you want to be $20 million, $50 million, $100 million. You need to know what is the end game. You need to know what is the roadmap to that end game. Doesn't mean you have to go to $100 million. Somebody might say, I'm happy for the time being to cross $10 million or $20 million. And accordingly, then we customize the solution for you. That is why Jump solution is a fit. We do a strategic review. We'll analyze where you are with respect to everything that has to be done in the future and right now, whatever is your end game. And then you might decide just to do what you need to do to reach the next stage. Jump is the only accelerator that does it for beauty brands, where we have a collaborative solution for the entire roadmap, starting from where you are to whatever your end game is. And we are focused on women-led beauty brands. Obviously, we cannot work with anyone. It does cost. You buy cheap, you buy twice. So it's not that Jump solutions are cheap by any means, but they deliver results. Thank you. I hope this video added value.
Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to this What Beauty Founders Don't Know podcast for amazing guests and insights on growing your beauty brand. Visit jumpaccelerator.com and take the quiz to find out how ready you are to make the jump to $20 to $50 million plus. And above all, don't miss out on your free online course taken by hundreds of successful beauty founders. Sign up for your free online course now. Till the next episode.